this thing on? Hello, hello. Welcome to Open Pike Night, the Strange New Worlds podcast where your calls are the prime directive. I'm your host, John T. Bolds, here tonight to discuss Strange New Worlds Season 4, Episode 4, A Case of Chiaroscuro. Join us tonight as we look at both sides of what has shaped up to be a divisive episode, but we'll navigate the shades of gray and discuss this strange noir world. Joining me tonight are my co-hosts, the man who absolutely is a collaborator on this podcast, Jesse Bailey.
Sometimes if you want to change something, you have to be on the inside of that thing. And that's why I'm inside of this podcast.
And the man who understands that you have to stick with your core values when in a difficult situation behind enemy lines, host of Green Shirted Newbies Trick through TNG, Cameron Harrison.
I know 600 words for co-hosts, and I'm worse than all of them.
And, of course, joining us tonight, our first guest of the season, a returning guest ready to rock and roll his way through the Resistance. Last time we had him on to talk about M'Benga and his dealings behind Klingon lines, and this time, well, what can we say? We love a theme. Please welcome Thom Tran back to Open Pike Night.
Hey, guys, am I the first guest of the season?
Yes,
as far as our episode coverage, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am honored and slightly concerned that nobody else is saying yes.
I think, well, we focused so much on the writers and the directors that we didn't really reach out to a lot of guests as far as our regular coverage. Yeah.
Well, we had Star Trek Las Vegas. It was a busy first couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That too.
I was on tour. Like, everybody's like, how come you're not at STLV? I was like, because I'm telling jokes. I'm working so that I can go pay for more Star Trek collectibles that are on my mantle at the moment.
Time is a close circle.
You know, keep early August in mind the next time you're scheduling a tour, because we'd love to put you on our panel as a ringer. We have a kind of a recurring theme there as well of bringing in a ringer. So, I mean, you're perfectly welcome to sit in that fourth chair, Tom.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah. My touring schedule is not up to me these days. It is very much up to like whoever tells me they're going to pay me to go do a thing.
Suffering from success,
I guess.
We will pay off the Comedy Cellar at the Rio to invite you on that weekend.
There's no way that that's an expensive gig, right? Like, there's got to be something we could maybe actually buy.
Maybe. I'm kind of expensive.
I meant just a stage at the Rio, but yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, you can rent the stage for $6 and a pack of Kit Kats, but
getting the Tom on there, that's where it gets pricey.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here with us today, man. We're here to discuss.
Your check is in the mail.
Yeah. Discuss what some people are saying is a noir episode and some people are saying is really not a noir episode, and we are going to have some thoughts about that. But first, let's get into the mood and hear from our caller and patron, Sin Sarah.
Day 404 of Klingon occupation. Or is it 4004? Hard to process time in a system where day and night look the same. For the occupation, I followed a case that took me beyond this infrared black body spectra. Color spectrums so vibrant they could drive a man crazy. Though before that, I never knew the coat I'd been wearing my whole adult life was something called yellow. Stood brighter than the damn sun. Couldn't get back to Mataran fast enough. All because of a damn coat. Now, I'm stuck here, imprisoned on my own planet by a Klingon with a K-less complex. Stuck at the bottom of a bottle, trying to remember what green looks like before we all die. Hell, this bottle could be full of green ambrosia, and I wouldn't even know it. Word on the street is the Resistance is making serious moves to bring down the shield imprisoning us. Imagine lots of folks would leave. I hope they find the grass the Terrans call greener on the other side. Probably stay myself. The Resistance won't be over after one little victory. So, to help my fellow Matarans never fall, maybe a shot at experiencing blues and reds, we better get to work on finding this detonator. Walk down the right back alley in Mataran, and you can find anything.
Is that mostly Dick Tracy with a little bit of Sin City at the end?
I'm pretty sure, yes. Yeah. Dick Tracy's
Nice.
sounding kind of rough these days, man.
And now that my throat has healed from Star Trek Las Vegas, I feel bad. I can't sound like Sincera anymore, man. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with this. I do like right away. We should probably talk about that a little bit because like I am not super well versed in noir, right?
Mhm.
I know that Cameron, this is a big genre for you. This is literally an episode you pitched on our website. Where do you land on this? Is it noir? Is it not noir?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a student of noir. I couldn't tell you like the exact decades and which movies fall in and out and all that. But I've looked at the Wikipedias and it is complex. But I do just love the aesthetic. Whenever I watch something, I like it's a comfort blanket. So yeah, I've been waiting for this. And what I loved about it is that it was kind of a mashup of a lot of 1930s and 40s stuff. You have like the spy thriller, you have some noir, you have some Metropolis. You have like the paranoid thriller like the writers talked about. So I like that they kind of blended it all. It's not a detective story, right? This is not Sam Spade, but it is like that kind of East-West Berlin kind of spy thriller. You get a lot of more of, see, I can't really pull an example. Third Man a little bit, but yeah.
The episode was literally Casablanca. It was literally
There's a lot of
Casablanca.
Casablanca.
No, it's
no romance.
literally Casablanca. You have a bartender who is in the resistance. You have an occupation force. You have the piano thing going on. When like it's, what's up with this season, you guys? What is happening with this season?
Are you saying you don't like Casablanca?
No, I like Casablanca. I also like Star Trek. I would like Star Trek to be Star Trek. I don't want Star Trek to be Casablanca. Like,
You don't think this is like the most Star Trek plot yet, though?
No, this is like I was like watching this episode going, I'm like, what is, first of all, listen, I don't know who watched Nicolas Cage in Spider Noir and went, oh no, we got to do that this season. But
that would have come out after this, like production wise, but I smell what you're stepping in.
I feel like the explanation in the very beginning about, the radiation from the Mataran solar system is turning everything black and white. I'm like, that's so
beautiful. Yep, I agree.
I'm like, oh, come on. It's just what? Listen, look, the first episode where the Enterprise is the reason humanity exists. Bold choice to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. The Griffin episode, you know what? It's hard for me to watch a Star Trek space episode where someone's not banging a ghost. So, like a ghost episode, if you're gonna have a ghost, someone's got to be banging that ghost. Okay? Don't
bring a little bit former banging. How do you know?
No. The rule is if there's a ghost in Star Trek, someone is banging that ghost. You can't just do a ghost story. I like the episode. I really like the Griffin episode, but the whole time I'm going, no, it's fucking this ghost. And it's my girlfriend didn't understand the reference, and I actually had to talk about that. But and then the last episode, the dude, where's my car episode? I'm like,
the Hangover episode, please.
Yeah, but
we're going to compare these to good movies.
But accurately, like they lost a shuttlecraft. But
yes,
I'm just like, what is happening with this season? There's no. Yes, they want to do episodics, and just like the original series was great with their episodics. But I'm like, what is happening? I'm just everything's so far one direction or so far in the other direction. And
a lot of our callers tonight use the words roller coaster. So
roller coaster is a great word for that. But also, this was just Casablanca.
Tom, get ready for next week first, and then second of all, I don't think this is new. Like, this is what Strange New Worlds does. It is let's do a genre this week that you might not expect to be paired with Star Trek. Let's lean heavy into that genre. I mean, it's been 2 years since we had the musical episode. And that was, I mean, fairly, I think that one was also pretty divisive. But like, I don't know. It just, for me, it's like, this is not a new thing. This is not suddenly this season they decided, let's do different genres. It's like, they've been doing this for 4 years now. So it just kind of, I guess the word is, it surprises me that people are surprised.
It's not that. It's just each episode this season has been so, I feel like, and I get what you're saying. There was the musical episode, there was the magical episode, like the fairy tale episode. But I feel like in previous seasons, there's been more like, oh shit, Romulans. Oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like there was more Star Trek.
Yeah. I think we're far enough into the season now that you can say, if you look at the first 4 episodes of all 4 seasons, these 4 episodes are definitely like less, it's not cohesive, but they are more all over the place.
The tonal differences are greater between episodes.
And then it might be that. It might be the swing of the tone of each episode, which that's fine if you want to do it like, you know, when TNG was doing 26 episodes a season, it's like, all right, 4 episodes of actual Star Trek stuff, and then we'll do a Beverly Bangs a Ghost.
Right.
I don't know why that's in my
You're
head.
really...
Well, we do actually have a caller who echoes this a lot. Let's hear from Que Sera Sera real quick.
No jokey bullshit this week. That doesn't mean I'm here to shit on this episode. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Una and Mbenga drawing on their experiences in a perilous situation. I even enjoyed seeing future Dahar Master Core. And La'an's justifiable concern / paranoia had me a little on edge, and I presume that was the intended effect. That said, this ep didn't, to me, require a genre swing. To me, it didn't feel like noir as I was taught 30 years ago in college. Bernadette's costumes brought plenty of texture, but a Casablanca-like A-plot and even 2 clear, loving thefts of Casablanca do not noir make. I felt the ep was more akin to pre-NASA space fantasy, like Sky Captain. One final point. Several days ago, I rambled on Blue Sky about Trek being a place with plenty of room for different types of stories, different genres. Competency porn, as exemplified by many next-gen eps, is a genre. But when season 4 is shaping up to be an oops, all sweeps episode season, the impact of those genre swing episodes is lessened because we're not getting the competency porn regular eps sprinkled in. Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Season 4, I will say, is more concentrated, high concept episodes. It's more, dude, where's my car in space? Casablanca in space. Event Horizon in space.
Yeah.
The episode everyone is waiting for is episode 6. It is going to be the competency porn episode, but even that one is blank in space. So I mean, to Jesse's point, like at this point, the showrunners, the writers have told us what kind of show they want to make, and this is the most purified season, I think, of that yet. And if you're on board with it, I think you can have a lot of fun. If not, it is a roller coaster.
And to something Cam said earlier, is this not the most Star Trek plot so far this season? I think that it is. Like, you have so much TOS in here. Like, there's even some shades, forgive the phrasing, of TNG. Like, a big thing that I took away from this is Resistance is not futile, right? Like, to me, that's like almost a direct call to that whole Borg storyline. But this feels very TOS to me. You go to a planet, it's just like a specific part of Earth during a very specific time period. You have an alien stand-in for a well-known force of baddies. And then you have our characters kind of pretend they belong there just long enough to solve one of these problems. I mean, you swap out Mbenga and Uhura and Una for Kirk and Spock, and you've got like half of TOS's run, right? Like, but I mean, I was sure the first time I saw this, I was like, oh, people are going to love this. It has those shades of Piece of the Action. It has pieces of Errand of Mercy in it. Like, it has all these things and people are going to love it. Yeah. And it's like, the sticking points for some of the folks that I have seen, and this is not me telling people you may not have sticking points, you have to love the thing.
I'm just going to have sticking points, don't worry.
Well, it has surprised me some of the sticking points that people have pointed out, because I'm like, I thought that was a strength of this episode. I thought that was a thing that Trekkies in general would just really love. For me, like, my biggest complaint is that when they show the map of the system, the star is called Matar Star. Like,
Mastar is right there.
no, it can just be Matar, because then all the other planets would be Matar 1, Matar 2, which is the thing where I was like, how did nobody catch this? It drives me a little bit crazy. But like, beyond that, I loved it. It's like, yeah, the Mbenga Uhura bits. I mean, like, Mbenga fits perfectly in here. Making
Perfect
the choice
characters for this away team.
Yeah, and making the choice of the Klingons being this oppressive force is like, this is classic TOS. You go to a planet where the Klingons got there a little bit earlier than you. They've already implemented a system, and then you have to convince the people that there's a way to fight it, or that it's maybe not the way to go. And it is interesting to be the person who's watching the Star Trek social media for our show, because it's like, that's where my whiplash is coming from, honestly. Like, the season, I'm like, yeah, this is consistently how Strange New Worlds is. But then you watch the reactions and you're like, the people I thought might hate this love it, and the people that I thought might love it hate it. It's bizarre. I guess it's not black and white.
I'm enjoying each episode of like, okay, well, the last one, surely this next one will be as divisive as the last one was. And it seems like it's just piling on more and more. I think we can all confidently say next week we're going to have kind of this same conversation again as far as reactions to it go.
Yeah, 100%.
But, I was thinking the most of Unification 1 and 2 during this episode, as far as a undercover behind enemy lines, obviously for different impetus. The doppelganger aspect wasn't there. But if you're going to go with competency porn for being behind enemy lines, I kind of feel like these guys do it a lot better than Picard did, eating the soup really badly in Unification.
I mean, not quite as good as DS9. That crew is amazing at time travel undercoverness. But like, yeah, I thought this was really good. Yeah, I mean, I just keep going back to my review of the season, which is divisive. But I mean, come on, guys, like, fun to talk about, right? Like, the conversations emerging from these opposing points of view, I think, are like exactly the conversations you should have around Star Trek.
Absolutely.
And John, I didn't really get a read. So like, are you pro this episode?
Mostly. It's we're going to hear some more about La'an, but honestly, my biggest issues with this episode lay on the Enterprise. Which I think several people's do. But let's go ahead and hear from Platty first, see what he says. Actually, no, let's hear from David Jones, who I believe was in this episode.
Yeah.
David's log. Stardate 08/13/26. This is my final adventure into the Star Trek universe under this current era. It has been an honor to put on a Starfleet uniform, to grace the sets of real Star Trek shows, getting to fulfill a childhood dream so long ago, back in 2022, where it all started, to start with the Klingons in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 under the Cloak of War, and then to finish in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4, A Case of Chiaroscuro, plus adding in being in the Terran Empire in Section 31 and the finale of Season 1 of Starfleet Academy. It's been an honor. It's, I started off as a background actor back then in 2022, and lo and behold, I am now a principal actor in 2026. I never had the acting bug, I won't lie, prior to working on Season 2 of Strange New Worlds, but Star Trek gave me the acting bug, and now I have an upcoming series coming for Amazon Prime. So life finds a way. Star Trek, I will miss you. It has been a great honor, and I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed working on it so much to finish where you started in the same place at the AR wall. It definitely had me very emotional. That's where it all started for me on this amazing journey, getting to meet everybody, all of you fans in podcasters. It's been a great honor, and I will miss it. Recording ended.
Well, David, I can confidently say we will miss you in our Star Trek. And I think an important thing here for me, like I'm not going to say this is important for everyone, but important thing for me is David really, for me, crystallizes that this show is made by people. Like a lot of the discourse that I see is making very large assumptions about, oh, this was made for the following reason, or the writers are this way. And it's like, well, I mean, you can hear straight from the writers if you just listen to Open Pike Night, first of all. But like, the reason I like our series discussing things with the writers and the directors is the same reason. It's like, these are real people. They have a job. They're given a certain amount of time to do that job, and they execute, right? Like, I think it's very important for me, again, to remember that everything I watch is made by somebody doing a job, and they are probably not half-assing it at this level, right? So I'm not here to say, you know, what you see is what you get, be grateful for it. I'm just saying, try to remember the people behind the scenes, and just think of your own work day where it's like, yeah, there's going to be restrictions on you. You can't do everything you wish you could do in your job. Just keep that in mind as you're watching. And David, I've said it once, I'll say it again. Incredibly jealous, man. Just incredibly jealous of your journey. And it's very inspiring, like, to know that you came from a little Trekkie kid to a big grown-up Federation man is wonderful.
It was very cool. I was on Facebook and it was just showing me some random Star Trek group posting a bunch of behind-the-scenes photos of this week's episode, and I was scrolling through and I was like, oh, hey, I know that guy. It's David. Awesome. So I haven't spotted him in the episode yet, but I know what his costume looks like. And if he was on the AR wall, it sounds like he was in the cafe somewhere. So keep your eyes peeled.
Well, yeah, because they're in the cafe for like the whole episode, which is also a lot of strange to me, but it's kind of fun. It's like, okay, this is the place to hang out, and on this planet is the cafe. So sweet. Yeah, it is interesting. I see one of the main comments I see a lot, and we're going to be talking about discourse as much as we are this episode, I think this week, is a lot of people like, they need to let Star Trek fans make Star Trek. I'm pretty sure they do.
That's who's making it.
Sometimes it's easy to attribute that to, well, you're just jealous that you're not the one making Star Trek, but also it's like, and then I see accusations like, oh, they're just doing fan service. It's like, what are we supposed to be making TV shows for? What if you're not making TV shows for fans of TV shows? That argument confuses me sometimes. Like what is wrong with making something that you think people are going to like? And I can see that also being on the flip side of, okay, you need to make something that more people will like with episodes like this, because it is, obviously it's a very divisive episode in what's turning out to be a divisive season.
And every anime fan listening was like, this show doesn't have any fan service. What are you talking about? But I'm very interested to know, like, for those that didn't love this episode, Tom, maybe you can speak on their behalf.
Listen, it's not that I didn't love the episode. Okay. I didn't love the episode.
That's fair.
I just feel like, I was talking to a comic at a club that I work at. We're fellow Trekkies, and I loved the first episode. Like, I thought it was a bold choice, and he was like, I didn't like it. And he's a hardcore Trekkie. He's like above and beyond me. And there is a lot of divisiveness in this season, and and it is a roller coaster. I think it is a whiplash of like Jurassic Park, the house on at the end of the street or whatever, and then last week was, dude, where's my car? I'm just, I don't know. I just felt like right off the bat, Was it just me, or was that opening scene of the Enterprise and the shuttle, did that look like they were trying to make it bad 60s special effects? Like, or was it just me? Like, I was watching it going, okay, I get they're doing a black and white thing. Why does it looked like they tried to make it look like a 60s, and maybe it was just I was tired or whatever, but I was like, the first shot,
the shuttle shots, I will say the shuttle shots definitely looked, I'm going to say, less dynamic in their motion, in the way the ship, like the actual shots of the shuttle from the outside. I will give that to you. I definitely bumped on something there where it's like, okay, is it just the fact that it's black and white, or are they doing something else different with it? And like going through the atmosphere even almost felt like, holding a shuttle on a stick while putting fake clouds going in front of it.
Yes.
A little bit.
And,
but
I was
pretty.
like,
yeah,
it was, but like right off the bat, I'm like, so what are they doing? Are they throwing back to the 60s, like trying to play this as a noir thing as it would have been seen by futurists at the time? And the shuttlecraft looks like it's on a string. Just so right off the bat, I'm like, wait, what is this? Is this in their heads? And then the explanation about the Batar system, I was like, that's very contrived to make this. And I think that's the thing I'm bumping up against. The whole let's make a noir episode and give it some bullshit reason why it's in black and white. Like this, oh yeah, the solar rays from the Matar solar system change how we see black and white. I'm like, is that a thing that happens? Or is it the thing you said happens because you wanted to do a black and white episode? Like, and I think that's right off the bat, I just went, what is this?
A little column A, a little column B, a little bit of both. Are you sure you weren't watching on? Did you have your motion smoothing on your TV? I don't know. I'm watching these shots right now. I think they look freaking gorgeous. The shuttle looks amazing. I don't know. It was
also okay. In my defense, we watched it late last night, and I had just gone to an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue and ingested 6 pounds of meat and 4 lobster tails.
Oh, you had meat goggles on.
I did have meat. My girlfriend just learned the term meat sweats because that's what was going on last night while we were at this. So I was a little out of it, not gonna lie. Maybe I'll rewatch and go, oh no, this is great. This is not without 6 pounds of undigested carne inside me.
And if you are watching on Paramount Plus, it's certainly possible that it hadn't finished buffering yet.
That's true.
But to the point about kind of the conceit, right? The setup. I have seen both sides of this because, like, there are people that are asking, for example, with the Griffin episode, like, I just wanted an explanation. And Cam is over here being like, no, you're not supposed to. Like, that's part of the point. And then in this one, they give this quick little 1-2 line of dialogue about why this is, and people are like, we didn't need the explanation, just do a black and white episode if you want to. And I'm like, I do feel for the folks making it, where it's like, you literally are damned if you do and damned if you don't. Like, to figure out which things people want 1 or 2 lines of dialogue about must be very difficult. I definitely watched this through the lens of, hey, that's like the exact idea that Cam put in his like pitch article for this. I think it's really cool that it happens to show up here. And that is one of the things that to me feels very TNG, very TOS, like a 1-line explanation for a very big thing. And then the rest of the episode is about something else. So regardless of where folks land on it, I think I ended up on this is fine. But I also wouldn't have minded if they didn't have that. Like, if it was just, here's a black and white episode, I'd have been like, oh, okay, because it's like shades of moral gray and right and wrong, black and white. Like, I can do that. And they have that big discussion about that at the end. Mm-hmm. So I think it would have worked for me either way. But we have a lot of calls to get to tonight, so let's hear from our next one.
All right, here is Starship.
Hello, Open Pike Night. So I really enjoyed this episode. I loved seeing Una take center stage. It's been a very long time since she's done that. And whatever shortcomings the writing had, Rebecca's performance was so strong that she easily carried it. The black and white looked gorgeous, and I love that it wasn't just us seeing black and white, the characters were seeing black and white. That was a little fun sci-fi bit. The soft focus glow, the beautiful Metropolis Art Deco production design, gorgeous. I will say, more than anything, the episode evoked Casablanca, which is in fact not a noir movie, but that's okay. It was still enjoyable. The stuff with La'an on the ship was interesting too. I felt this was my train of thought. So she confides in Spock, which causes him not to trust her, which further makes her not trust herself. But then she finds out she's right, but she can't tell Spock that because she's keeping Chapel's secret. So Spock's going to continue to doubt her, which further isolates her. So my girl is going through it right now, and I feel so bad for her. I know things are gonna get worse for her before they get better, but I do hope they get better soon. Live long and prosper, guys.
I totally did not track that she's not going to be able to rub this in Spock's face. But you're absolutely right. Oh my God, poor La'an. That's the best part of a relationship, when you get to say you were right.
Well, and I'm interested because I was sort of with John here, where I was like, the stuff on the ship didn't hit me quite so hard, but like hearing Starship talk about it, I think it did do more work than I thought it did on my first watch. I think for me on the first watch, I was just very confused. Like I'm like, how many layers are there in this cake? And like,
yes.
who is responsible for what? And like, yes,
and where's
thank
the
you
plastic
for
baby in the cake? I don't.
Well, and like,
am I following your metaphor right, Jesse?
100%.
Okay.
And thank you for letting Scotty and Erica talk about sandwiches, because like that was where I was like, all right, okay, sandwiches, I understand. But it's possible that like even the sandwich here is a metaphor. You got layers. There's different ingredients. Who's the bread in all of this? I will say I really liked the stuff with Pike on the ship because it's brief. It's almost not there, but he reads so much as like almost a narrator for this episode. Like, Starfleet can't be here. Here's, what we need to do. And like, La'an, this, that, and the other thing. Like, he's very rigid in frame the whole time. And that to me feels like a use of the genre conceit. Like, put him in the frame. Don't have him do too much movement. Just like center on him, use that to ground yourself. But John, I know the ship is where you may have had some of your misgivings. Talk about that.
I will. There's a few more callers I want to get to before I talk too much. I do want to say, yes, there's Una as the main character of this episode, I think was absolutely the correct choice. And it was nice. I mean, when's the last time we had a fully like, this is a Una episode? Yeah, she's there. She's there in the back. She's there supporting a lot, which is what her role is as the second in command is to support the story. But it was really fun to see her get the whole thing. I like that I just wanted it to be either that whole episode of Una's story and flesh that out more, or twice as long an episode if we're going to tell both stories. I think both of these stories could have been a full episode length. And I think this episode suffers a little bit because they tried to put both stories in one.
I think we're going to share a lot of those same thoughts and agree. I kind of want to hear some of the other callers first, but I do also want to agree on Una, because I think that can kind of get a little lost in everything else happening in this episode. But like, historically, she's kind of not my most compelling character for me. And so it's fun to get to see her come forward, and because there is a lot going on with her. Because she broke this like cardinal rule of Starfleet, she had to live her life as a Boy Scout, Girl Scout. And here she is like learning, she can kind of maybe start breaking those rules and questioning some other Starfleet stuff. And I'm wondering if this is setting up tracks for her eventual future at the end of season 5.
Yeah.
Always more Una Chin Riley. Always.
Fair.
Absolutely.
Like, she does such a great job as number one. And like you said, like, her role is to be Pike's support, but she does it so much that, yeah, when there is an Una-centric episode, I'm like, yes, absolutely. And you know what? Technically, we got two of her. One of them was just dead in a pot. So, always more Una Shinrai.
All right, let's hear from Trev.
Hey, it's Trev beaming in from the Fairlight Franchise podcast. And I was really looking forward to a film noir episode. But I've said in the past that sometimes Strange New Worlds lets its gimmick-first focus get in the way of the Star Trek of it all, and unfortunately, I think this week was a prime example of that. First off, if you want to make a black and white episode, just make a black and white episode. The in-universe explanation added nothing of substance to the story. Other modern shows and movies have used black and white without feeling the need to explain it. I also didn't like the away team's lack of scientific or intellectual curiosity about this planet resembling 30s, 40s era Earth. Yes, Trek has done stuff like this before, but usually the crews seem confused and inquisitive about this, and we learn why it's this way. Even more glaring, though, was their lack of curiosity or concern about Una having an exact doppelganger on this planet. I assumed this would become the central mystery of the episode, but nope, they seem fairly nonchalant about it. Wouldn't there be a concern that the Klingons have somehow got hold of Una's DNA and cloned her? Wouldn't they want to get that body back to the ship for autopsy? Their "it is what it is" response was about the most un-Star Trek-like behavior I could imagine from these characters. I know the argument here will be accept the genre tropes or just turn your brain off and have fun, and sometimes I can do that. But I think Trek as a franchise is rightfully held to higher standards in some regards, and while everyone's bar for this is different, for me, my breaking point is when your Starfleet characters have to act dumb or bad at their jobs for the story to work. This wasn't season-ruining bad for me by any means. I love the visuals and all the character stuff with M'Benga was fantastic, but the script just needed a few more logic passes for me to raise this one above the meh level I came down on.
So it's fascinating because your reactions like span the gamut of my reactions, Trev, from like 100% agree, and I'll get to that part later, to I see where you're coming from, but I didn't bump on it, to I'm not sure where this is coming from. And I'll start with that one because, I don't know, I looked at the wide shots of this planet and did not see 1930s Earth, like, at all. I saw this cool fusion of Metropolis and 30s, and it looked like an alien civilization around mid-industrial period that then got invaded by warp-capable Klingons, and I don't know, it read as an alien planet to me. I was there for it, personally. As far as the...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
No, I was going to say, in reference to... Una having an exact duplicate, I have two words.
Yes.
Jeffrey Combs. That's all I'm going to say.
He should have played Una in this episode. Oh, no.
I was a little disappointed.
That's a funny one because on one hand, well, like I said last week, I feel like, and this isn't, I don't want to come across like I'm attacking Trev. This is the sort of like weird, like in the weeds kind of script discussions I love. Like, why do audiences bump on one thing but not another and everything? Like last week, I pointed out that like Erica wakes up and one of her first lines is, "Why am I not hungover? Why am I not drunk?" And to me, that was the writers telling the character to say this so the audience would go, "Oh, why is she not drunk? This is a question I have to follow." And in that episode, it didn't really get resolved for me it didn't get resolved. Like that was one of those loose threads. Here, when M'Benga of all characters says, "No, this happens. I'm not worried about it." I, as an audience member, goes, "Okay, not worried about. Moving on. Let's enjoy the story as presented." To me, that works for me. But also, I'm probably coming off as a little bit of a hypocrite because if you listen to Green Shirts, you know that many times I have been like, why are they bringing that on board? Clearly, it could be a bomb or a shapeshifter or any of these other number of things that happen in Star Trek. And it's always Rob or Marcy who go like, why are you assuming they're bad at their jobs, Cam? Like, clearly, when O'Brien says, I beamed on board, it's fine, I believe him that it's fine. And so it is just funny how, like, yeah, people have different thresholds for these sorts of things.
Well, and my pushback is like, I don't know that I saw anybody being bad at their job in this episode. Like, if their job is to get extracted, they did that. If their job is to decide to do an undercover mission and help the people, even though that might be technically against the rules, they did that. Like, M'Benga is absolutely in his element here of being behind enemy lines. He's teaching Uhura how to do that, which is a skill she's going to need. She's using her vast linguistic knowledge to eavesdrop on this Klingon conversation. And then, like, the noir aspect of, or the visual aspect of it does come into play, and Kor uses it against Uhura. He says, what color are the trees in your home village? And she kind of trips up there. So, like, that piece ends up mattering in the story.
But does it matter because she recovers very quickly? And he should have been like, oh, I specifically asked this question to find out if you're from this planet. Like, he should have followed up on that.
But my point being, like, it comes up, like it's real for the characters, and it is part of the plot, right?
But it
like,
doesn't affect the plot. I would argue.
I mean, you have a moment. I had a moment at least where I was like, "Oh, Uhura is totally cooked." Like he got her, and then
But I do
having
want to
learned
say,
from Mbenga, it's like, okay, now she's getting into this headspace which she's not used to being in.
to Trev's point, though, like, we are how many years away from the Klingons creating a human Klingon hybrid with the Klingon guts and the human skin. I don't know what Ash Tyler was, but that should be fresh in mind. Like, I get his point. Like, you are in a universe where there are shapeshifters and clones and all these things. In real life, we hear doppelganger and we go, oh, a lookalike. Yeah, apparently I have 3 doppelgangers in Alaska. I don't understand, but people are sure they've met me at, like, a construction convention. I'm like, nope, not me. Are you sure? Pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
But yes, in this universe, I could see that being a bump.
Here's my problem with doppelgangers. I didn't get recognized standing next to a poster of me saying that I was performing at a comedy club.
So what you're saying is it's fluid.
Yeah, I don't believe in doppelgangers. This is the part that I bumped up against with Mbenga being there. On a planet surrounded by Klingons, he's literally the butcher of Jagal. Why didn't he just go ham? He's like, oh no, we got to get out of here? Fine. Let me Mbenga this bitch up and just like.
He didn't have the space PCP on him.
And I'm glad you asked that, Tom, because I don't feel like they ever really established the threat to our crew on the planet. And I think that is the one part of the story that, like, there's no ticking clock. There's no... I don't feel like the stakes didn't get ratcheted up enough for me that it's like, yeah, okay, there is obviously a ticking clock of the shield.
Yeah.
But it just never really felt like anybody was that scared of that actually happening. And even with the Uhura interrogation, like, it wasn't there are 4 lights moment. It's like, okay, we found your ID. You're good to go.
Yeah. Which
obviously is a tactic that interrogators and spy masters would use. But I don't know. I feel like there was a tiny bit of the number one, and Mbenga never felt like they actually were feeling the stress. Mbenga was just being like, hey, you don't have to do this. Right. But I never, if I had seen him sweat at least once, I think I would have taken it a lot more seriously.
Okay, so this is where we find out that John is okay with fascism as long as it's happening to other people. No, I'm an
American, of course.
Hey, guess what, John?
Yeah, what?
So for me, you do have to work into this is Una's story, because I think Tom is right. Like, this is, and I have said this all season long, the show's about Mbenga, and you put him on a planet with Klingons and you have him sneaking around. I'm like, all right, let's see the Mbenga of this whole thing. Like, but so Tom, what I thought you were going to say is, why does nobody recognize him? And I was going to say the answer is because he's the Butcher of Jagal. Nobody is left from that.
Nobody's left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's he look like? Oh. Nobody's left to tell us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And having the tension be like they were told to leave as soon as they could, is like, I could argue, or I could agree with you that it's like, maybe that's not like the highest stakes thing. But I think the stakes in this episode are meant to be deeply personal for Una. Like, even in that last time on package, we get, I had a chance to help and I didn't. So this is for her. That's what makes this an Una episode, is it's her grappling with what she did in the past, although it's arguable that was more her parents than her, and how she's going to act now that she feels she maybe has a second chance to maybe do the right thing instead of the easy thing, which I think ends up being a big theme of the whole episode, is like, yeah, there are ways to fly under the radar in this kind of situation. Sometimes that's what you need to do, but sometimes it's the opposite. So,
yeah. All right, let's hear from another caller. Here is Michelle.
Hey, Open Pike Night. This was an interesting episode. I liked the noir elements, and I'm glad they explained the black and white piece as well. I thought that was kind of cool, and how it tied in at the end. I'm so glad we finally got a solid Una episode. Rebecca Romaine was great. I loved all the undercover parts. Una and Mbenga, those scenes were phenomenal. Just Mbenga's wisdom and Uhura learning and seeing how strong she is. It was great. I am not so sure about what was going on the Enterprise, but I appreciate what Chapel was trying to do. And that's kind of my Crusher connection, because we know that Beverly Crusher would definitely go into enemy territory to help people. And also, regarding some of the quotes of the episode, kind of also had a Crusher connection, where Mbenga talks about, now you understand the anguish of healers. No matter how many you save, it's never enough. And Una at the end saying, living a hidden life to protect others, Picard Season 3, and the cryogenic chamber, also Picard Season 3. Cameron, I can't wait till you see that one. But I really liked a lot of the elements here. I do wish we had more Pike. I feel like we're 4 episodes in, but we haven't really focused too much on Pike this season, so I hope we get more soon. But can't wait to hear your thoughts on this. Until next time, live long and prosper.
I think the problem is that Anson Mount looks too devastatingly good in black and white, and they were like, this is going to be we can't make it an Una episode if he's even around. So but I think for me, what finally landed the shipboard portions of this is when I realized, it is the same story as on the planet, right? This is a break the rules because sometimes the rules are keeping you from doing the right thing. And then I was like, okay. Like, I see how this ties in. I still am not 100% on like all the pieces of that weird puzzle. Like, I can't, like, Scotty and Erica did something that Pike did approve, but Chapel did something he didn't. I'm not there yet. I'm going to have to watch it again.
And that's where my biggest issue is the story on the ship ultimately is about La'an starting to doubt herself while trying to solve a mystery. The solution to the mystery is just, I'm like, who would have objected to this?
Right.
Who, like,
every Star Trek character has done this.
Yeah, like this is a
in 960 episodes of Star Trek. Yeah,
we've seen.
There's probably a class in the Academy about this.
Exactly. Like, we've seen this what Chapel did dozens of times as being like, we did the right thing, and and it was a little strange for it to just be like, I don't want to ruin careers.
Yeah.
Like, that might be one of the first times I've heard that as the reason for doing something like that, Chapel. But I feel like I like the Scotty and Ortega scene, but I'm like, man, this is supposed to be about La'an really doubting herself and trying to prove herself to herself a little bit. Makes for a fun punchline at the end and the scene with Pike. But again, I think it could have been a whole episode. I think it could have been a self-paranoia episode.
I mean, it would have to be a very different episode.
Oh,
though,
absolutely. Like
because yeah. I mean, every individual scene I like, every interaction I enjoyed. Scotty and Ortega's. I love the Shaw scene. I love how she manipulates the Shaw. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, overall, at first I'm like, okay, paranoid thriller. What is she scared of? Yeah. She thinks something's going on, but she doesn't know what. There's no stakes to this investigation at all because we have no idea what it could be. Like, she doesn't even posit, like, what if this is a Klingon yada yada and it's going to detonate the ship or something. So no stakes. And then, as you say, the resolution, like, I like the performance when Chapel kind of reveals, like, did you try this? Because guess what? It was me. I mean, it's a great little scene, but yeah, I mean, just zero, like, punch to it because you're like, oh yeah, no one's gonna care, Chapel, it's fine.
Yeah.
It needed to either be something bigger, which I don't know what it would be, and it would probably make the audience now question Chapel as a character, or at least something personal where we'd have an emotional connection. But her just being like, some character the audience has never met or heard of did yada yada, I don't care.
The Captain Crandall of Strange New World.
And I don't know why they didn't make it more of the detective. I mean, I know they went paranoid thriller because of what La'an's going through, but like, you have a security log voiceover mechanism right there. You have the La'ogs. You could have her speaking. Make her the Sam Spade character. Make her doing like a detective investigation. I don't know. I felt that was
have the ship have an error where there's a solo trumpets like mournfully playing the whole time. So anytime she records a log, that's playing in the background. Like,
Yeah.
Tried to figure
Put the
that
cape-
out. I don't know. Yeah.
Put the cape and cowl on her, give us Batman, and just have her like hanging people upside down. I think the stakes that she had initially stated were like, I think there's a mole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But,
is it a
To what
Klingon
ends?
mole?
Yeah,
right.
You would notice that person walking around. Like,
Ash Tyler, there you are.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Kid,
just
Ash
can I
Tyler.
just say, I'm grateful Ash Tyler's not in this show.
That's hurtful. The thing I had a problem with Leon's characterization in this episode, and I know that they were going for the whole like she's doubting herself. It's going back to what happened with when she got the Klingon or the Vulcan genes, and that pushed her towards kind of the Romulan side of that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scene with the new Vulcan. What's her name?
Asha.
Asha.
Yeah. Cam, I know you said you liked that scene, but as a non-commissioned officer, as a former like mid-level, almost senior NCO, if the security officer, if she's the head security officer, if she'd gone up to an ensign and be like, "Hey, do this thing," and that ensign was like, "No, I'm doing something else," I would have been like, "You know what you can do? Fucking push-ups. Do them right now until you decide to get your shit together and do the thing I just told you to do because I'm the head security officer." And I get that she's kind of doubting herself, but that whole like, let me play to her ego, and then let me play to the idea that she's going to be tricked into this thing of like, oh yeah, maybe there's somebody else. No, you're the head security officer. You tell an ensign to do something, they fucking do it. Period. Like that, like, and that's the army in me going, no, that she would have been doing push-ups through the bridge of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Just
I have no army in me. Thank you, Tom. I was like, just give her an order, Lon. Just be like,
yes.
You see let's try this again.
Let me show you. Let me show you my sleeve. How many of these do you have?
I know. I was pointing at pips. I'm like, we don't have pips. Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I see. I think the scene with her and Spock, like watching it again, 6 pounds of meat in my stomach last night. So I don't know if I was just kind of like, but it was. I felt like and I know where they're leading their relationship into oblivion because she doesn't exist. Like, and you know, and I see them setting up the eventual disintegration of whatever, maybe romance they have that, you know, and maybe it's forgivable because he's a Vulcan. And I was looking through this as the lens of like a human man involved with a human woman in a relationship. But if you were to say your girlfriend or your wife or your partner or whoever, no, I think you're just reading this wrong. She would have slapped the shit out of him again as the head security officer. She would have like, next time we dance together, I'm gonna knee you in the balls. Like that's.
And she's the one person, well, maybe outside of Una, on the ship who could slap Spock and not hurt her hand doing it. Like,
yeah, she
would very much. I could do this all day. Like, but yeah, I mean, the thing about that too is like I almost read it as like, oh, Spock is either in on this and is trying to keep her from having to explain it to someone, or like he's trying to make her life easier. But I don't think that's the case. Like, I think he was actually just saying, like, you are trying too hard, let it go. Which, coming from Spock, is a little, I would imagine, incredibly disheartening. But it does make me wonder, like, does that same chain of command situation apply there, Tom? Because, like, this guy is the science officer. I guess we don't know where science is as far as...
Third in command, I think.
But it is, yeah. So, like, wouldn't that be above security officer?
He's a lieutenant, though, right?
Well, I guess Lon has taken. Yeah, they're kind of
both
evensies. Yeah.
So I mean, doesn't matter what division they're in. It's a rank thing.
Yeah.
Not gonna look this
so
up.
They're the same rank.
I guess it's him being more. I mean, is it supposed to like be the first example we've seen of him embracing logic more than his relationship? Because that's what we last heard from him before we saw him drunk for an episode.
It could be, and if it is, it's not necessarily explained enough. I think, like, because if that's the case, that fits with his character arc, but there was no like
Maybe not
signifier
with
to me
your
like
girlfriend first.
Yeah. Let's be real. It's a situationship.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're both
I don't know.
I like
Less
how at
tenants.
this point.
I like how he's like, maybe it's this or that. And she's like, no, tell me what you think. He's like, I think it's nothing. I don't know. I like that moment. That was good.
As the science officer, if the security officer came to you and said, hey, something seems off with this isolinear chip, like, wouldn't he go, all right, well, it's like maybe we should check this out. Like, I think I rubbed up against that a little too. Like, I thought logically he should go, oh, you're concerned about this thing. Like,
he seemed very quick to dismiss it as just something intense.
Yes.
You're right.
Like, not even just the fact that they're in a situationship, but like, he's the science officer. Something sciencey doesn't seem right to the security officer. Maybe you go, all right, well, we should look into this.
Yeah. At the very least, be like, did you ask Ortegas and Scotty? Because last time they messed with the isolinear chip and could have solved some problems early. Yeah.
Do you guys
was this before or after she told him that she had been seeing Chapel after? It was after. So he already knew.
That's one of the first conversations they have, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe he was like, maybe stop talking to this girl who broke my heart.
If you keep talking to her, she will sing a song about how you are no longer friends. Like,
Boom. Boom.
All right, let's go ahead and hear from Newman.
Newman the Space Hippie, movies for days. A case of Chiaroscuro. Lots to love in this episode, especially on a rewatch. Adored the costumes. The cinematography was particularly impressive, and certain moments were downright inspired. I love the sort of metropolis aesthetic we're getting for the cityscapes. I really love Damore Barnes as Commander Core. His performance was juicy. His use of diction was so on point. The chemistry between Mbenga and Uhura at the bar when he's teaching her how to be a spy. Babs is one of those actors that just makes everyone in a scene with him look and sound so much better. It's like a special talent some actors have. Some things I wish they'd done differently. The national anthem Casablanca moment. I wish that the inhabitants of this alien society had words and were singing those words to drown out the Klingon singing. It just, I think, would have had more punch. Chapel's deception makes no sense to me because it took her a lot of work and effort to do all of this to hide the fact that colleagues broke regulations to help people. Captain Pike does that before having breakfast every day. So that was a big bump for me. I just wish it had been handled differently. And I ultimately wish that we had had color and normal cinematography on the Enterprise so that the black and white noir aesthetic was a planetary located situation. Newman the Space Hippie out.
I kind of agree with all of that.
I do too.
I mean, I've mixed feelings about the Enterprise black and white, and I might talk about that later. But otherwise, I mean,
I think that would have worked because it's like they have shields. Like, number one thing for shields is different kinds of radiation. Like, it was absolutely a visual choice, right? It
if
wasn't
they're going to tell the paranoid thriller, they're going to want to keep it black and white. But again,
I think they could have just darkened it. Like, it didn't. This is not a complaint that I have, but I think it would have worked. Like, just make the contrast more intense.
But then are the interior shots on the planet also in color, or since it's all under cloud cover anyway, is it radiation or light waves? There's
different kind of clouds, Cameron.
Yeah. Okay.
But we do have to talk about Core.
Yes.
Because, like,
holy cow.
Dude. Dude. I was I put my hands up. I was watching this alone in my room at night and put my hands up and went, it's Core. Like,
I didn't recognize those Core. I was just like, this is an amazing actor who's chewing the scenery.
Yeah.
Absolutely how he should be.
Core. Yeah.
Well, and that was the thing is, like, it is so consistent with other depictions of Core that we've seen, while adding so much to the character. And like we talked about some of the chemistry between Mbenga and Uhura when he's teaching her to be a spy. Let's talk about the chemistry between Core and Una, because that last scene, I was like, he's about to go over this table right now. Like, this is going to become an entirely different kind of episode that Cam has been wanting for a long time.
Yeah, he I mean, embraced the role. I would love if hopefully we can get him on to talk about it. It'd be fun to have him as a guest, but just like, man, did you just say screw it, I'm gonna fully take over? It was John Colicos who played originally, and like paid him all the due respect he could for that character, because he is fantastic.
Well, and it's great when you have a character like this who can deliver the shit out of exposition, because like all the scenes you talked about, Jesse, of course, amazing, but like you don't even see him on screen. It's just kind of a voiceover when they're introducing the mind scanner. And he's like, the mind scanner. It can see what you're thinking, so do not lie. And I'm like, that's how you deliver exposition, 100%.
And it turns a thing that is very dumb into a thing that you're like, okay, like this is a problem. This can be a problem for Uhura here. Like,
this is the one scene where you're like, oh, people are in danger. Like, yeah. To John's point, yeah.
And until now, like, if anybody had the unblinking Klingon game cornered, it was Robert O'Reilly. But like, there's some serious unblinking Klingon energy in this episode coming out of Demore Barnes. And like, I mean, the guy is intimidating. Like, usually the Klingons are intimidating because they're huge and they're yelling at you and you can see weapons on their person. But in this, it's just like he's intimidating because he is committed to what he is doing. And yeah, the use of diction, I have to agree, very impressive.
Yeah, that last scene with Kor and Una, that made me feel things that I didn't like feeling. like when they cast Marissa Tomei as Aunt May and Spider-Man, I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this the way that they make me feel about Aunt May.
Oh, I 100% liked how I felt about that.
Well, it's Aunt May.
I know.
That scene where he was like, he bit his lip at the end. I was like, is this a category on Pornhub? Because I'm going to have to check. Like, I don't like this.
Probably AO3, but
yeah. But the chemistry in that scene was like fantastic. And what I liked about those two was like every scene they were together, I was kind of like, what does he know? Like, how much is he playing her? Is she playing him? And that bit where she tells him, "Oh yeah, she's my, Aurora is my. That's why I hired her." I was like, okay, who is getting played here? But like, and that was
I'm
great
not sure
acting.
I know who at this point.
Yeah, and that was like great acting on their part, because I'm like, the whole time I'm going, wait, who is outwitting who here? But yeah, and then the tingly farts parts, and I was like, I don't like this. I'm going to go get some more.
Thousands of pages of fanfic have been spawned.
Oh my God, yes,
Immediately.
Yeah. Please go put those pages in the fanfic channel on our Discord for no particular reason.
All right, let's hear from Melanie.
Hi guys, this is Melanie, back home in Germany after a great week in Las Vegas and at STLV. I didn't manage to call in the last few weeks, and also didn't hear the writers and directors interviews yet. Shame on me, I know, because they're so great and informative. So, the film Noir episode. I watched it like 3 times now, and I believe that there is a lot of story missing. I do love that Una gets an episode. I think Rebecca, Babs and Celia form a great away team, but I do miss Pike. I just need my weekly dose of new Pike material. Really, is that so hard? Anyway, I liked the episode, loved the black and white style, though it took me a bit to get used to it. As I said, I guess it could have been better if it had been longer. My favorite moment was Una kicking ass and Joseph telling Nyota about this alias and speaking about his first posting. Okay, about season 4. I do like it. It is really like a roller coaster ride through genres and emotions, but I really, really hope we have more Pike. And the way he handles Laan, I'm not so sure about it. He is the best captain. I hope he knows that and what it entails. I do worry a little where the season will take us. I mean, out of 4 episodes, 2 already had Kirk in them. The thing is, I like Kirk, but I want more Pike. I just love Pike. So, let's stay positive and hope for the best. Live long and prosper.
Incredibly on-brand call from Melanie, as always. And here's a small thing. I love the way that our non-American callers all say genre. Like, things get so flattened in American English. Like, I'm kind of surprised we don't say genre, but like, I hear you, and I kind of am going back to this clip I saw of Anson Mount where he says, "I am not the star of this show. The Enterprise is the star of this show." And first of all, cool sentiment from the guy who's absolutely at the top of the call sheet, right? Like, I like the humility there, and I think it is kind of emblematic of Pike's leadership style, which is much more lead by example and that sort of a thing. I'm kind of wondering, like, do you guys think that the genre of this week flattened some of the characters, like, because they needed to be this kind of character in a noir episode, like Spock and his potential incuriosity at this thing, and Pike kind of just being sort of a talking head for most of the episode? Is that a result of how a noir would do certain characters?
I think on the Enterprise for sure. I don't think the three on the planet. I think they are fully themselves and even richer. But like to the Pike specifically, his first line when we cut to him kind of giving the kind of exposition, like he is reading it differently. He was the one character who I was like, oh, is he trying to do like a noir thing where he's kind of just reading it like a police blotter or something? It's an interesting choice. So that's my answer.
Yeah, I think totally. Absolutely. I mean, look at the way they did my girl La'an dirty. Like, again, like, she's the chief security officer. She's been nothing but a badass. And yes, they're doing the questioning herself situation, but I feel like this being a quote unquote noir episode, like, they did that to her character to kind of fit into what they were doing for the episode.
I'll agree on the Enterprise, yes, and to go back to Newman's call a little bit with it being black and white, I think it would have been really fun if they had been like, okay, well, the planet is black and white, the Enterprise is far enough out that they're just like grainy 70s style, like halfway between, and then done a 70s style thriller there, because it would have made more sense for how the characters were. I do think they were all a little more dumb than they needed to be to make it fit the story. All right, buddy, I'll let you. Sorry, my dog is going through.
Well, Melanie makes a great point about the deleted scenes too, because just yesterday I saw a behind the scenes shot of Una like holding this really cool looking knife up to a character I'm pretty sure we didn't see in the episode. Also, the writers talked about like a lot. Apparently, like the script, they wanted to make a feature length for sure, and I definitely would have watched that. Apparently, they put a lot more of the black and whiteness into the world. What would a world without color, how would it function, and what would their technology be like? I definitely missed a lot of that. I wish some of that had made it into it. Sounds like they also like just fleshed out the world and what the occupation is and what all the different objectives of the different parties are. Would have liked a bit more of that. But specifically going back to the core of it all, both the writers and the directors talked a lot about how he was kind of like, you know, like the working Joe villain. Like he's a middleman. He's kind of got a job to do. Maybe he doesn't love it, but that's what he's doing right now. I don't remember seeing that in the episode. That definitely feels like maybe a big part of his character that wound up getting cut out, maybe late, because it seemed like everyone thought it was still in there.
Well, I think he likes his job.
That's what it came across. I know. I was like, what?
He's really good at it. But
is he not like the head Klingon right now? He's kind of coming across that way.
Well, and I think what they were kind of pointing at is sort of that banality of evil thing, where it's like, because they did talk about like Andor being an inspiration, and it's like, I mean, a lot of Andor is about how not all these people are going to be actively like, you know, fully behind the evil idea, but they have a job, and it's their middle managers, and they're like, whatever, I'll do whatever I'm told because it's easier than pushing back, you know, and that is absolutely a real thing in this kind of a situation. But like, yeah, I think Kor likes his job a lot.
Well, I think he is a warrior. He's a Dahar master who has been told subjugate this planet and take it over. So he has been given a task that is not usually his, you know, in his wheelhouse. But he's like, all right, the job I've got, I'm Kor, the Dahar master. I'm going to do it. Let's do it. Like,
love to see more of that from him. Yeah.
It is a job he has been given, or I guess will be given in the future based on when this takes place in the timeline. But this might be where he finds out he's pretty good at that.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay. I have a question that just popped into my head that might have confused me a little bit yesterday. And it is about the whole black and white thing. So, okay. And it like goes back to the last scene, when they're leaving and Uhura's like, okay, we're leaving the system, and then you see Una's face change in the mirror from black and white. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're still on the shuttle at that point.
Yeah.
They're not back on the Enterprise, right?
Nope.
So why is the Enterprise black and white?
Yep.
Like,
I know. I bumped hard on that.
Like,
and I get why you want
I just
that
looked
scene.
at the star map. Yes, I totally get why they wrote the scene like that. But like I literally just looked at the star map. Okay, please.
There's a very quick line where they say the Enterprise is waiting for us on the edge of Maharan, the system.
Yeah.
So apparently, for some reason, though they've been trying to get the shuttle back this whole time, the Enterprise moved away from just outside the Klingon zone to just outside the radiation zone.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure they said we are now passing the Klingon zone, and then moments later, it doesn't check out.
No.
Okay.
It's purely for the final shot and the metaphor of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just make the Enterprise 70s saturated.
Well, and I think that's kind of emblematic. I think it's kind of emblematic of, the two sides of reaction to this episode, where it's like, yeah, that's going to bother some people. Other people, hand up, are not going to notice that, and if they do, we'll be like, okay, like they wanted that shot, so it's there. And I'm fine with that. Rule of cool goes a long way for me personally.
And I totally get it.
Worlds, yeah. Yep.
Totally get it. As a writer and as somebody who works in this industry, I get why that scene is there. But as a nerd, I'm like, wait.
Well, when the whole plot is around, that's one of those. It's right there on the threshold.
The whole plot. Yeah. Everybody's black and white, and then they are still on the shuttle. Not at the Enterprise yet. Whoa!
Or is this like an Illyrian power we didn't know she had, where she's like, oh, I could have been color the whole time?
Well, even to the beginning. There we go. Even in the beginning, when Uhura's like, oh, I'm having trouble with this, and M'Benga's like, oh, well, let's close the blast shields to help with that. I know they're closing the blast shields to save on money so they don't have to show the storm through the windows when they enter the planet. 100% that's why that moment's there. But they close and nothing changes.
Nothing changes,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I also bumped, I was like, wait, what was the point of this? Like you did it.
Like I thought it would kind of come into color a little there.
Right.
That would
or like
cool.
if they could shine a flashlight and just that little spot was in color. I know.
Is this
the nerd part kicks in hard with the black and white?
Yeah.
Is this episode going to get a fan edit with splashes of color and like?
Ooh.
That would be really fun.
I thought this.
See episode 4 colorized in parentheses after it. That'd be pretty fun. Let's hear from Grayson because he actually talks about some of this.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Open Pike. Okay, it was absolutely gorgeous. The bogey and Bacall of it all. I can't wait to hear Abby talk about the costumes, shades of Casablanca, cabaret, people walking into focus. I mean, it's just a really beautiful production. My big question is why? Why black and white? I get the sun, radiation, yada, yada, but if they had produced this exact same script in color, would anything have to change? It comes up in Uhura's interrogation, but that doesn't really go anywhere. And then at the end, Una asks if she did the right thing, and poor Babs has to deliver that line. Few things in life are black and white. Please tell me we did not shoot an entire episode in monochrome just to land that metaphor. I wanted there to be a moment where the lack of color was like the key to something. Like normally we wouldn't be able to solve this problem or make this choice or feel this way. But due to these unique circumstances, there's a new option or realization. But I missed it if it was in there. There's a couple other things. I don't think we've seen the last of Una's double, and I hope not, because I need more than, what a coinky-dink. And if the Klingon ship in orbit was 80% knocked out by the EMP, how is our shuttle flying? It was good.
Or all the
others. It reminded me of that Voyager episode where everybody wakes up as factory workers and Chakotay's undercover as Amal Kote. But I'm ready to move on. Bring on the puppets.
Yeah, I mean, 100% Grace, and I am thrilled this episode is in black and white. To Jesse's point, I would have accepted it if it had just been black and white. It's freaking gorgeous, and I want this. But I like that they gave it the scientific explanation, because as far as I know, there is a scientific explanation for it. Dune 2 did it. They can do it here. I love that. But and I love that the characters can comment on it. Like it brings us, the audience, into the story more if they're able to talk about it being in black and white as well. I think that's why I wanted the scientific explanation. but it had to play a bigger part in the plot. Like it needed to have some sort of key system, some big obstacle, as opposed to just her quickly recovering and no one caring.
As for that line, sorry.
No, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, he brought up that line from Uhura that was like, "Oh yeah, what color are the trees? Green. No, I mean red. Wait a minute. How the hell do you know what green or red is? You're in a system where everything is black and white."
Well, the Klingon, it sounds like they've heard of other systems. They have warp-capable ships.
You can hear of other systems, but if you don't, like, if the people on that planet are like, that just bothered me right then. It wasn't even a thing that hit me last night, but I was like, wait, she said green and then red. If she was born in a small village on the outskirts, she doesn't know what green or red is because she's probably never left the planet and everything's in black and white.
There aren't enough words in existence to explain color to somebody who's never seen a color. Like, yeah.
Well, and so to your earlier point, Tom, I kind of read that as, oh, is this Core playing her? Like, he knows she's not from there. And he's going to there's two possibilities where he's like, I'm going to put this unstable element back on the side of my enemies and, count on some screw ups there, or like use it as a gotcha moment. Or it was the like overconfidence of, you know what, one person's not going to make a difference. We're so close to this plan that we're talking about in Klingon coming to fruition anyway, that it's like, don't worry about it. Just let this person go. Cause now they fulfilled our fake made up requirement of having an ID. So like, whatever. But I did think it was going to play into that question you had earlier of who's playing who here.
Right.
Because then he does end up talking to Una directly about Uhura. And I was like, oh, this thing is going to come up. And also, like, when Core says, like, this is quite the enterprise you're involved in or something like that, I was like, oh, he knows. Like, he totally knows, and he's gonna
then he shows her a
try
delta.
and kill her.
I mean,
this is intense. Like, but I think because again, I'm not super well versed. I think that's part of the noir genre of like, be pretty, hit the nail right on the head, be very on the nose with some of these things, and to Grayson's point, like, I hear you. Like, yes, if this was all for this metaphor, is that a little bit maybe of a letdown? But I will say, like, if you have been tracking media literacy lately, like, sometimes you need to just come out and say the thing, especially with modern stories. And I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but I could absolutely see a discussion among writers where it's like, do we need to be more subtle with this or less subtle with this? And them just kind of erring on the side of, man, sometimes people aren't great at watching TV shows. Let's just come out and say it. Now, I will say the other point of that is these are Star Trek fans watching this. They know what they're doing. So I totally hear you, Grayson.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and hear from Katrine.
Hi, Open Pike Gang. I want to share 5 thoughts about this episode. First, I'm missing the color. I know why it was absent and that it also had a purpose, but I really missed all those beautiful Strange New Worlds uniform colors, the color in the Enterprise, the shuttle and the planet. Second, does it really fit that Klingons are portrayed as these almost Nazi-like people? I think the Cardassians would have fitted much better. Of course, we don't know them yet, so I guess that wasn't really an option, but it still feels a bit strange to me. Third, as a German, I always stumble over the use of German words in Star Trek. This time it was Doppelgänger, and the subtitle even had the German umlaut ä. Fourth, I loved that short scene with Scotty and Ortegas. And finally, I wonder if there's also a deeper message here about the dangers of authoritarian systems. To me, it feels particularly relevant right now. It's not just something that could happen in the US. We are seeing similar tendencies in Europe too. More and more people are supporting political movements that promise to make their country great again by turning away from democratic values. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I still have to listen to the Strange New Words podcast. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say about this episode. Thanks for your podcast and live long and prosper.
Katrine, thank you. This is the thing that I was sure people would latch onto and say, finally, Strange New Worlds is addressing a real world current issue. They're telling a story that matters specifically for the time that it's being told in. This is a story about authoritarianism and all those kinds of systems of government that suppress people where they live. And I was kind of blown away that more people weren't excited about that. I have seen so much discourse over the last 3.5 years of like, okay, but why? Like, what is Strange New Worlds saying to us? And then in this episode, they're saying something very clearly to us. And it seems like maybe it didn't land, or people had disengaged enough where they were like, it's too late for me. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. But I was sure this would be the thing people would latch onto and go, finally, it's saying something that matters right now. And I agree with you about missing the colors, but the nerd brain in me is like, this is how most people saw Star Trek the first time, was in black and white. And I'm completely here for it.
Yeah, I remember being like, yeah, using Klingons as like a metaphor for occupying forces, particularly Nazis, seemed brilliant. It fit everything everything you just said, Jesse. I think it was a great use of the world of Star Trek to reflect our modern world in a way that felt very TOS. Even though I know Klingons were originally communists, now they can be something different. They can be all sorts of things, like the writer said. Like, their episodes can be about all sorts of things. I do wonder, and I think your comment about missing the colors 100% fair. Like, Strange New Worlds is known for its color, so like taking that out of an episode does take out like a huge strength of it. So this is not directed at you, but I was surprised how many people I saw on social media be like, black and white, I was out in 5 minutes. And they may just be the trolls on these Facebook groups. They may be bots. I don't know. I hope so, because I didn't think there were that many people out there who absolutely refuse to watch black and white. Like, my kids will comment on it when I make them watch a black and white movie, but they'll still sit and watch it with me. So maybe, like, to Jesse's point, like, some people just checked out because of the style before they got to those meat and potatoes of the themes. And that's too bad, because I adored the style, and there's very important themes in there. And Tom's camera.
Oh, sorry.
When you have AI face tracking on it.
Yeah. Sorry, you saw my Ranger
very
panties.
Short shorts.
They're called Ranger panties, or the Daisy Dukes of Freedom, as we like to call them in the special operations community. Sorry, I dropped.
They are absolutely that.
Dropped my guitar pick, Bridge Crue guitar pick.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
So yeah, I forgot the AI tracking. When you just got a load of something you didn't expect. Bringing up the color thing. Yeah, I absolutely missed it. And the moment I understand the black and white of it and why they did that. But like in the coming up next section, like immediately after the episode, and then you saw the colors pop of the uniforms, I was like, oh my God, this is like, like I wanted that. So yes, I missed the color. Absolutely. And yeah, and using, and I think it's the contrived one-line explanation about why it was in black and white, I think is what mostly bothered me for the episode. Like, I think Jesse said, if you're going to do black and white, just do it. Zero reason to explain. And that line at the end that Mbenga gives about things aren't all in black and white. It made me go, it's very second, like it's so pandering to the second screen audience, the whole, like, we got to say the thing because most people are watching when they're really just scrolling on their phone, yeah. Like, I think that is what bothered me. More than anything else. Like,
I gotta push back. Like, I like that because, again, I feel like if I was in that situation, I'd be like, well, fuck, I can't not say this. Like, here we are living in a black and white world talking about this. I'm not going to make the connection. Like, of course he's going to say it.
Kim is absolutely a dad. and
as
like,
is Mbenga.
And I will say here too, like, I also have strong feelings about the second screen audience and like the tendency to write in part for that audience. But like, as much as we might not like those people and don't want to watch Star Trek with them in particular, it's a real segment of the audience. Like it's a thing that writers probably don't control. Like, to the point, it's a studio saying, make it work for people who are half paying attention. So like, I'm not disagreeing with the feeling that it brings up, but like, it is just a sad reality of like, yeah, that's going to happen in TV that's made now. Like,
I can tell you from experience and from having friends in this industry here in Los Angeles, when you submit a script or even a spec now, studios will say, hey, make this more second screen. Like, they will tell you to rewrite so that the people who aren't paying attention will understand, oh no, this is, no, I have to go take the laundry out of thing. Like, it's a studio mandate. Like, people are being told, writers are being told, rewrite to make this more second screen. That's a real thing, and that's obnoxious. I hate it. Trust me, as a writer, I hate it. So, anyway.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and hear from our caller, Platty.
Hey there, Open Pike Night. It's Platty M3. Gonna preface this with saying, much like the documentary episode last season, this was a great Trek story that just wasn't my genre. But hey, that happens. Here's the hit, shits, and giggles. All right, hits. Everything looked nice, beautiful, awesome. The way the scenes were lit was pretty cool. And excellent acting by the entire cast. Shits. Did the people on the planet just cosplay early 20th century Earth without even a nod to why? I mean, they explain the black and white, but not even that stuff? Not even like it's a human colony outside Federation space? Do the Klingons not have scanners that can tell humans from the blacky-whitey planet peeps? All right, character motivations were seemingly all over the place a little bit this episode too. La'an all but guts Kirk a couple weeks ago. Pike sweeps that under the rug. The crew watches genocide happen with the Martians and everybody and inadvertently helps create humanity. That's fine. Keep that a secret. But a hospital ship crosses a border to save people and La'an thinks she can't trust Pike with that? What? Also, Spock goes full on logic here. And you know what? He's wrong, completely wrong. I hope La'an shoved that in his pointy-eared face or told him his ex-girlfriend completely fooled him. All right, giggles. Had to giggle at the cross my heart. Hope to get stuck in a pattern buffer line. Awesome. Also chuckled at the Cuban sandwich bit. I'm definitely team mustard. Unlike Kirk and his shit hot dog, Scotty is 100% right here. Platty M3, signing off.
Platty with the important points. Like, I'm mustard. Like, if you don't like mustard past like age 8, what are we doing here? Like,
living my best life on a Cuban sandwich, not on a hot dog.
Yeah. And I'll take this opportunity to say I found out something about Cameron recently that I never knew, which is that he does not like mayonnaise.
Oh God,
I had no idea. God.
Have you ever seen the movie Undercover Brother, Cam?
It's the only blackness in me is that I hate mayonnaise. Otherwise, I am 100% Caucasian.
I'm just, hold on. Let's not gloss past that. Undercover Brother is a masterpiece. I love
it. It is a masterpiece. That and The Ladies' Man. Two painfully underrated comedies.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I feel, to Platty's point, like I've given a lot of my shits and giggles this. I haven't done enough hits. I do like this episode a lot. I think, to Mel's point, I love the style, like the episode. Overall, I'd probably give it like a B+. But yeah, I mean, it's just the music is amazing. Nami is knocking it out of the park this season. Like, everything about the music matches the costumes, the cinematography. That I love this world they fly into and the individual streets and cafes they go to. The style, the story. I'm going to talk about the very end in a little bit because that I bumped on, but like the rest of the twists and the turns worked for me. It was right there. So I mean, I just wanted to put that out there. Like, I really enjoy watching this episode.
And I think one of the most effective things is that you have these Nazi Klingon armbands. And like, everyone involved was like, I really want one of those. Like, if you can make that thing be a thing that people are like, I wish I had one, like, that's impressive. Well, maybe I wouldn't wear it, but I'd keep it at my house. like I'm some kind of Supreme Court justice or something. But like, I mean, the costumes, like we will get to Abby, but like, Absolutely agree. Everything is beautiful.
I do like this episode. I just don't love this episode. And I think a lot of our callers are hitting on why. It's just like, I kind of think I wish there had been more buy-in from M'Benga on the resistance. Like he was there to counsel and provide. I kind of wish there had been that moment where he's like, no, go get it, do the thing, help these people out, instead of the always being like, we just need to get out of here. This isn't our fight. This isn't our problem. It would have been nice to see, because I feel like Uhura bought in. I mean, she had to, she did her thing for her survival, but at the same time, it would have been nice if there was a moment where all three of them are like, do it. Let's do our part. Yeah.
You could even have a line from M'Benga that's just like, I just don't want to lose any more people.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't me saying this is not a worthy fight. This is me saying, I do not want to lose any more people. Yeah. And they have this gorgeous silhouette shot when I think it's M'Benga and Una meet the bartender.
Jalem.
And I was like, okay, so you have this setup. Why didn't you give M'Benga a katana to fight against this backdrop at the very end of this movie in front of a giant sign? Because Highlander should be in everything.
I thought this was a Kill Bill reference. I don't know. I feel it matches M'Benga from Under the Cloak of War, where they came to him and said, hey, will you fucking end this war right now? And he said, no, I'm not going to do it. And It wasn't until things got personal that he then took that step. Like this, he seems to, I don't know if it's jaded, but he's seen enough war where he's like, I know what will make a difference and not. And I guess that does kind of lead into my one problem with the plot on the planet, which is, what are the stakes? Because right now, I mean, obviously Klingons are here oppressing people. Bad. Got it. Why can't they leave before they EMP blast? What does the EMP blast do? Because they can leave. Right now, the scanner just says alert, alert, alert. If they're leaving, no big deal. If all they're concerned about is leaving their planet, which doesn't seem like much of a victory, and maybe that's when Benga's thing is like, this is not a victory. You're getting them to run away. What I mean, and to the point, like, if they set off an EMP blast that brings down the shield and the Klingon ship, how are they all escaping on spaceships?
Okay, because those spaceships were off.
Yeah.
Is that how EMP blast works?
I don't know, man.
I don't know how EMPs work. No.
So yeah, I wanted a little bit more like, what are they fighting for? What is the goal here? Because Una kind of just seems to jump into the resistance with like no idea what the plan is.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and I could be completely wrong, but I think it is a give these people hope. Like, you need to show that victories can happen. This is absolutely not the final victory, right? This is one step in something that's going to take a very long time, which I think ties back into the whole when you're fighting fascism thing. It's you take the small wins where you can get them, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that is kind of where they were leaning with that. But again, I'm not a writer. That's kind of how I read it personally.
Yeah, I mean, like, the big thrusts are there, and that's why I do go along with it. And that does feel very noir-y. Like, a lot of noirs break down when you look at the plots, but it's more about like this person fighting for this feeling, these people fighting for that feeling.
Right. Yeah. And it being a noir, it's like, hey, we won, but it's like, yay. You know, it's still a dark and gloomy story at the end of it. You know, the Maltese Falcon, like all of these, even Chinatown, blah, but
it's Matar 7.
Exactly.
And even M'Benga says at the end, didn't he say something like, yeah, I helped turn over a planet to one guy, and then it turns out he was a piece of shit. I was like, oh, all right, that's a kind of a bummer of a.
Yeah, then I had to massacre a bunch of his followers.
I had to kill a bunch of people, and turns out he was a dickhead. So
yeah. All right, let's go ahead and hear from Mishi.
Hi guys, it's Mishi. This episode was fantastic and we finally get to see more of Una. I simply enjoyed it from start to finish. The world building was great, as were the costumes, and the bar looked amazing. I also liked the La'an storyline. Now at least we know she's getting help after all, and I think this is where we're starting to see the end of her relationship with Spock. He has lost faith in her in this episode, and you can see how much it hurts La'an and how much she begins to doubt herself. I like Chapel in this. She doesn't have a huge amount to do, but what she does is crucial to Laan. She could have gotten away with tampering with the probe, but she chose to trust her and thereby helping her and showing that she isn't just paranoid. I also thought Pike was great at the end. He realized Laan wasn't telling him everything, yet he showed her that he trusts her and her judgment, and that he's there for her if she needs him. I think it was a really good episode. Maybe not enough Pike, but that's just the Ensign fan talking. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye.
I mean, to that point from before, I do think Pike was the main character in the first season, but since then, yeah, it is much more an ensemble, and for reasons we've discussed, like, yeah, Pike's kind of gone through his arc.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of here just to support everyone else now.
And I do like that this is a consistent thing we see in Pike. Like, we've seen him know that he is not being told the whole truth and choosing to kind of like just trust the people around him. Like, we know that Uhura did this to save Erica in Terrarium, and Pike was very aware that the information he was given was not 100% truthful. So I like that it is at least consistent, and yeah, I love Uhura for saving Erica.
I think Pike's hair was really the main character of the first couple of seasons.
Indisputable.
Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely, part of me, at the end when Laan was like, when he said, did you learn anything else? And Laan was like, did you know Scotty and Ortega's was friends? And just, he kind of had a look on his face. He was like, I don't give a shit anymore. Kind of like, almost like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna burn up in a radiation thing and be stuck in a chair. He's almost at the point. He's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah,
like, you do whatever
the fuck
you guys
want.
do. Senioritis. Definitely, like, my 5-year mission is almost over. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care.
I like that take.
The second half of the season is him like actively trying to cause the accident.
I've invited all these specific kids on the ship for a tour. Maybe we can speed this up a little bit. Yeah.
Can we start this in engineering?
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and hear from Zoe.
Open Pike Night. This is the USS Cinema. Zoe Richardson, Captain Commanding, and also host of Backlick Cinema, the podcast. So when I was looking at TV, I thought my TV is broken because what am I looking at? And then realize our team is in a section of Klingon space where they're forced to see the world monochromatically. And also, they find a planet in that section of Klingon space that looks like a 1930s America-style Earth. Now, is this too cheesy? Yes. Was it also a fantastic episode? Also, yes. I had a lot of fun with this episode because it reminded me of the TOS episodes of Lore. Back in the olden days of TOS, they didn't have a holodeck. They couldn't have holodeck adventures. They would just go to a planet that looked like the 1930s Earth, or an Earth where Rome never fell. And seeing as how there are so many humans spread out throughout the Milky Way galaxy, I can't see how it could be too hard to find an exact doppelganger of yourself. Uhura and Benga and Chin Raleigh really shine in this episode. I'm looking forward to future episodes. Richardson out.
Zoe, I'm glad to hear you sobered up after last week.
No kidding. Where on Earth looked like this in the 30s?
I wish. Like, if I had seen a Model T Ford rumble down the road in one of these shots, sure, I'd be like, okay, they went too far. But
this is absolutely a stylized sci-fi version of what our planet might have looked like. But yeah, I mean, the human looking of it all is fine because we got that one TNG episode. But yeah, I this is a concept art planet. This is not anything that has ever looked this way.
Well put. I mean, I get it. I like, if you just look at a still of Mbenga, you're like, okay, 1930s Earth. Like, his trench coat and fedora, all the men's costumes is very 1930s Earth. Granted, to everyone's defense, but like Uhura's outfit, that is definitely like alien civilization. Like, all the women's, I think, is pretty out there. I don't know. the L trains, the spotlights, the blimps.
Yeah, blimps, baby.
I don't care.
I'm never
Give
going
it
to
to me
complain
all.
about blimps.
Yeah.
I thought they were in Gotham City a la like Batman the
That's
Animated
fair.
Series. Like that's what I kept thinking the whole time. With the
Somebody, one of our
Zeppelins.
callers mentioned that. I had to clip it out just for time. But yes, one of our callers
Yeah.
did mention Batman the Animated Series.
That's
Very accurate. Yeah.
And that is, a stylized version of what they thought or what they think, Manhattan or whatever it is. And I was like, oh yeah, this looks like Batman the Animated Series come to life.
Yep.
It's kind of like Fallout doing like, this is the world the 50s thought the future would look like.
Yeah.
And like, this planet is the world the 30s thought the future would look like.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so my mind to your mind, man. Like every time I'm like, oh, that's cheesy. I like cheese. I put
You're
cheese
right, yeah.
on everything.
My cats are named
Even
after
his
cheeses.
mustard.
Oh, nice.
See?
Pimento and
Gouda.
Brie.
Gouda?
Gouda's good.
I had a Gouda. She passed.
Aw.
I had
R.I.P. Gouda.
Mozzarella. We named her Mozzie. She's gone.
Aw, nice.
The one that was on my
Mozzie.
lap is Colby. Another one is Olivet Centre, which is a fancy French cheese.
Wow.
And Mario was originally named Mascarpone until I saw him licking his balls, and I was like, "Oh, you're a Mario, not a Mario." Okay, thought he was a girl for like a week.
All right. Well, we have a couple callers left. Let's go ahead and hear from Anthony.
What's up, guys? It's Anthony Kelly calling in from Hong Kong, and I guess it's time for another genre movie of the week. I'm sorry, guys. This episode was absolutely my cup of green. I mean, I've read of green drinks on other worlds. This is what I imagine my cup of green would look like. This episode is my favorite of the season so far. Things I loved. Visually, it was stunning. It's surprisingly hard to shoot in black and white, and I was so impressed by the use of contrast and shadow, the choice of costume, and even the camera movements that made this episode a masterclass modern take on film noir. Kor's performance was great too. He's like any other Klingon, only more so. I love the subtle nods to how scheming he and the other Klingons were in TOS. I'm guessing that he hasn't been exposed to the augment virus yet, so I hope he's not too attached to those ridges. I love the grouping of Una, Joseph, and Nyota. And speaking of groupings, with Scotty and Ortega's, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Hey.
I am left with one question though. Was Spock simply being a bad colleague and partner when dismissing all of La'an's concerns? Or do you think that he knew what Chapel had done and was deliberately covering for her? I don't know. Maybe paranoia is spreading, but I couldn't help but feel that La'an was actually being gaslit. Anyway, peace and long life, and I hope that you all have a great week.
That would have been an amazing subplot if then La'an found out that Spock had already talked to Chapel and was now lying to La'an on Chapel's behalf, the ex-girlfriend.
Oof.
The whole extra
That's a
subplot
whole
there.
nother oh man.
Yeah.
And then it becomes Fatal Instinct, and then it's a whole
whole
nother
other
movie.
can of SETI alpha eels.
Yep.
There you go.
Anthony, I love this call. It is doing so much to heal my soul. Thank you for sharing your joy on this. I was sure there would be somebody that latched onto this. Hearing that is your favorite means the world to me. And I will, the thing about the ridges, I have seen people complaining about the ridges, and I'm like, can we just let this go? Like Klingons, people were like, why don't the Klingons look like this in Discovery? And why do the Klingons look like this in this show? And why this and why that? And it's like, they're giving you the Klingons you were asking for, and now you're mad that they don't look like TOS Klingons. Like, come on, just pick a lane. I'm so grateful for you, Anthony. Thank you for bringing the font of joy.
See, what's going to be really funny is if we do see Kor like 2 more times and they do the Pike's hair thing with his ridges, they just get higher and higher. Each.
So he's eventually a Discovery Klingon?
Yeah.
Yes. Give me that.
All right, let's hear from our final caller. You've heard her mentioned multiple times. Here is Abby.
Hey, Open Pike. Abby Summer from the First Flight podcast. Absolutely love that I get to talk about noir Klingons. The lighting in this episode was amazing. The sets were amazing. The props were amazing. But you know what was the most amazing? The costumes again. Oh my god, this season is just giving me life with all of the amazing costumes. I also have to say that both Babs and Mbenga were absolutely perfect for this type of story, and Una, love that she's getting some focus in here. Love that she's having a Carmen Sandiego moment, almost with that hat. Loved that. I also have to say that the actor who played Kor, I haven't seen him in other things. Here he's great, but in Klingon makeup, he looked like a missing member of the Jackson family to me. Not Michael, but maybe one of the lesser-known ones. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. Sorry, not sorry about that. I also really liked in this episode, Uhura saves the day, being brilliant, knowing languages. That's no surprise there. She also looked smoking in this episode. But I really liked the Una and Joseph friendship that we saw again. And we've seen little bits of that all the way since the beginning of season 1. And I really appreciate them bringing it up and them being vulnerable to each other. This was a great episode. I thought it was really fun. It's going to bear a lot of rewatches for the details that I want to see, and I can't wait to see what's coming next. Hope this finds you and yours well.
We need to make Abby like a Open Pike Night costume correspondent sticker or patch or something like.
Yes.
At this point, she is the fourth host. Like, people call in waiting to hear Abby talk about costumes to the point where they're like, I don't need to mention this. It will come up. It's totally fine.
And she's not wrong. Everybody looks great in this episode.
Yeah.
Like,
and I agree 100% on Mbenga Una here, because like they have some antagonistic moments with each other. Like, he didn't think that she heard that line of she's good at pretending to be somebody she's not, and then she throws it in his face, and he doesn't get combative. He just kind of is resigned, like, yeah, I did say that, and I was correct. Like, maybe my phrasing was off, but like, I was correct, and I think you know that. And she does. It's like maybe 2 scenes, but it is very good to see these two characters, really Una and anybody, have some expansion on their relationship. But I think that was, for me, a big part of the strength of this episode is the character work. And I mean, we've said, what, 1,000,000 times at this point, like, Star Trek is often elevated by the performances and by the actors because, again, it can be cheesy, but if you have people that are committed to what they're doing, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
I thought I took that line as a compliment. Like when he said she's good at being someone else. Like,
right.
I felt very much like that is an aspect of her character that, yeah, it wasn't, she didn't do it because she wanted to, being the Allurianness of it all. But like, I took that as a compliment when he said to Uhura, like, look, she's really good at being a spy or, just pretending to be someone else by virtue of the fact that she had to do it. And I think I didn't see it at all as a, listen, she's really good at,
No, and I think to your point, Mbenga intended it as a compliment, and it's a skill that he values, but she personally receives it as like, oh, you're kind of flattening my past into this thing, and I don't appreciate that. Because when she says it back to him, she's upset. But it's like, I think you're right that he meant it one way and she took it another way, which is part of what makes the scene great. It's like, that's real to life. Like, you can tell somebody a thing and you mean it as a compliment, and they're like, how dare you? Yeah. It's like, I thought we were being cool about this. So I loved the way that scene read, and I agree with you completely, Tom.
All right. Anybody have some final thoughts on this episode? Anything?
I'm glad it exists. Like, sure, I could, take...
Damning with fake praise.
That's a compliment. Don't take it another way. No, I'm going to go back and revisit this episode so many times. I'm 100% glad it exists. I feel like, I had my 3 plot things that I really wish could have been addressed. But that doesn't ruin the episode for me. Like, it's still a delight to watch.
And I loved this episode. It is not my favorite episode of the season, but like, there was a lot about it that I really loved. And I am, as we get to the end of Strange New Worlds, I find myself more thinking about, I wonder how this series will be seen in 5 years or 10 years or 15 years. Because if there's a thing Trekkies do, it's watch old Star Trek.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, specifically, when we were in Vegas, I was talking to a guy because I was wearing the Gornhub shirt, and that starts conversations. And he was telling me, like, oh, my favorite, like, I grew up on TNG, love DS9. My favorite series is Enterprise. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, you can skip the first 3 seasons. And I was like, your favorite show is the one where you don't need to watch Most of
75%
it,
of it. Yeah.
okay, that's incredibly interesting on a lot of levels to me. But it did give me more of an impetus to eventually check out Enterprise. Like, it's my one blind spot in all of Star Trek, and I gotta say, like, hearing 200 or 300 people sing "Faith of the Heart" at the Masquerade Bar, it works, man. It made me be like, maybe I should like this show. So I'm very interested going forward. Will people look back on this and say, oh yeah, there was a message here that it was important at the time, and I appreciate that. And will people grow fonder of the episodes they didn't like? Because I know there's a lot of TNG stinkers that people point to as like, yeah, that's a great episode, I'll watch it every time it's on. Very, very interesting thing, and also, kind of simultaneously a bit of a sad thing where I'm like, we're running low on episodes of this show, and guys, what are we going to do next?
My final thoughts. It's kind of like my failed marriage. It's not that I don't and didn't love my ex-wife. There were parts of that marriage that made me go, yeah, this could have been better. There are things that I loved. Like, I love Star Trek. And then there are times where I go, this didn't make me feel good. I don't like this. But it's a part of the history, and it's a part of the world, and I will accept it as such. But the one thing Strange New Worlds has done very well that I enjoy, and it was that Scotty. It's the little references. Scotty going, cross my heart, hope not get us stuck in a pattern buffer. I laughed like a small child when he did that. And how
did your girlfriend react?
She was asleep. She had the meat sweats as well. No, this episode is fine. It's fine. There are things in recent Trek history that have upset me far more than this. This was fine. They're doing a thing. They have a plan for what they want to do with these episodes of this season. And we'll see what happens when we get to the end.
Yeah.
I'm suddenly wondering if Tom was laughing his head off when La'an told Kirk his son was going to die at the end of a blade.
I did. And that was one of those moments my girlfriend was like, why did you laugh? And I was like, you haven't watched Search for Spock yet. So
there you go.
So yes, I definitely did. Also, I didn't know you had so many German listeners. Fun fact, I will be performing in Germany in December. I'm going to be
perfect.
on tour.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit more about that, Tom. Why don't you let everybody know where they can hear more of you and find you?
Actually, do you guys know about the news with the band?
No, man.
Tell us.
Going on the cruise?
Yeah. The Bridge Crew, my Star Trek band, is playing Star Trek The Cruise 2027.
Wow.
We got asked to play the cruise, so I'm
do
doing an
some
hour of
roadies?
I actually kind of do. I'm doing an hour of stand-up on the cruise, and then the band is playing 3 shows. And I don't know if it's not a secret, I can tell you, but we're doing 3 shows. The first show is called Song Trek, and we are playing pop music that you've heard in the Star Trek franchise.
Nice.
So I enjoyed last week's episode, or the previous episode, because Una sang Total Eclipse of the Heart in Klingon, and then I had to call my bassist and say, hey, guess what? You have to learn Klingon. She was not a fan of that conversation. And then we're doing we're doing a show that's all like parody versions of rock songs that I love, that I've rewritten to be Star Trek songs. And then the last show is the one I am most excited about. It is going to be a Star Trek cast live band karaoke jam. So Nana Visitor from DS9 has already, she is already committed to singing Fever with us, just like she did on DS9.
Nice.
And I went down to Comic-Con. I was in San Diego, I'm not exaggerating, 15 minutes. And I run into Todd Stashwick just walking up the street in in San Diego. And I was like, Todd, we need you to sing a song with us on Star Trek The Cruise. And it's his go-to karaoke song. And his wife was like, he's doing it. Verbal, like, so we've got Todd Stashwick, Nana Visitor. We just found out Brent Spiner is going to be on. So I made the band learn Blue Skies.
Yep.
So hopefully he'll come on and sing with us. But that's
fantastic.
Yeah, lots of Star Trek stuff happening. I'm going on tour with Brad Williams in December. I'm opening for him in Europe. So I think we're going to be in Germany and Norway and England. But for stateside people, I'm going to be headlining in Nashville, Tennessee and Louisville, Kentucky. When does this episode come out? Is this episode coming out this week?
So like 2 days.
Couple days.
2 days.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also headlining the Burbank Comedy Festival in Burbank. So but Nashville and Louisville, if you guys are there, definitely come out. There will be Star Trek jokes.
Where can people follow you to make sure they have your schedule nailed down?
ThomTran.com, THOMTRAN.com. And and then the Bridge Crew, which I had to remove the umlauts for our German fans. I had to remove the umlauts from that because I thought it was funny and cute. You know who didn't think it was funny and cute? Motley Crue's lawyers. They definitely sent me a cease and desist because apparently they own that. Did you know that? They own the words Motley Crue with the umlauts. Yeah, that's a real thing that my lawyers had to deal with. So...
if you haven't been sent one cease and desist, are you really creating
you really made
things
it?
like? Yeah, I think that's a badge of honor.
I've gotten 4.
Wow.
Van Halen, Bon Jovi, the Wu-Tang Clan, and Motley Crue. Weirdly enough, not CBS because they are historically litigious, and I haven't gotten anything from them. Knock on wood. But Star Trek The Cruise is going to be big. So if anybody's going to be on Star Trek The Cruise next year, it's the 10th anniversary. The Bridge Crew is going to be playing. So very excited.
Hell yeah. That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much for being here with us. It has been a long night, and the Open Pike Night crew has to go remove all the black lights from the studio because Jesse didn't understand what we were talking about. And
that's my bad.
It is a mess in here. So be sure to clean it up after yourselves. Be sure to tip your servers. You can go anywhere you want, but you can't stay here.